Yeah. Yebo makuma. I think it's 30. Hey? Only ngabe sesiqedile. Umkhulu Shimane uhambile. Siya uzobingelela bathi hello. Oza Thabang, Thatoza. Thokoza Thato. Khulumela phezulu. Thokoza. Wena wayethanda ukugida nana. Uyagida yeso. Thokoza Thabang. Wena wayethanda ukuhlabelela. Abantu bathi bathanda ivoice yakho. Thokoza baba. Abantu bathi bathanda ivoice yakho. Baba bafuna ukukhuluma nawe. Mandla, majaha imandla ningahambi. Ugogo Mlefe athi ivoice yakho iyamphilisa. Wamvusa file. Kusho ukuthi umthwasise online. Waqeda. Ubaba wakhe.
Technology.
Yes. Stella ukuthi baba usitshela ukuthi le ngoma isho ukuthanda.
So kunabanye abazali abangavumeli ingane zabo zithwase.
Yeah.
Uyabona?
Big 5 nizokhuluma manje mani.
Manje abazali bangayisupport lento yokuthwasa Big 5. Manje le ngoma leni mina nangihlabelela ngitshela uma wami ukuthi akayeke inkinga. Uyabona? Ngoba le nkinga mina sengithathile. Manje mama mkhululeka. Ngiyinyanga. Angithi uyinyanga uyisoja. Angithi uthwele umthwalo. Angithi Big 5. Ngiyathemba nezwe lengoma yakhe. Umama ka khululeke ngoba nini? Sizinyanga. Zani zokwelapha. Abelaphi bendabuko. Sizinyanga. Umama akakhuleke nje, arelax nje. Then yonke into izoba right. Ngoba into evalayo inhliziyo. Yabona? Manje namhlanje umama nakangikhulula inhliziyo, akungamane kuyovala. Sithi khululeka wema. Khululeka mama. Wema. Khululeka. Mina ngiyinyanga. Khululeka mama.
Ungahambi baba bayakuthanda.
Nami ngiyabathanda. Bathanda kakhulu.
Wife ka baba wami makancane. Nangu wife ka baba. Nangu le connect. Ngifuna because yazi you don't understand baba ukuthi uphilisa abantu ngengoma. Uphilisa abantu ngelizwi. And wena awuziboni ukuthi nangamagama wakho uyaphilisa. So ngifuna ukubuza le Big 5 bese usiphendula nawe baba. Maybe ne wife izosiphendula. Ukuthi Manzini so i Big 5 namhla. Umanzini seka i Big 5. Yeah, umanzini is the elder. So ngicela ukubuza majaha la, can you please advise abantu who say angikhona ukuyothwasa because my family doesn't support? Ngifuna ukubona ukuthi labantwana bafundile bakhulile nangumuntu uhlushwa idlozi bambonisile where to go, they are supposed to take the journey, but they say my family doesn't support.
Yes.
Okay, I give you permission to stand up and talk to me standing. Thank you, because then we can see. Yes. Manzini lokhu ugobela usagobela omunye ugobela. Yabo?
Inkosi isakhothamela ezinye.
Baba ngicela uyisho leyo tu. Yazi ubaba yeah.
Isakhothamela ezinye inkosi. Ngoba inkosi kuzibe inkosi yaqala ngokukhothama. Yakhothamela izizwe. Namhlanje izizwe ziyajika. Zikhothamela inkosi. Inkosi is you. Ukuthwasa kwakho lokho. Angithi uqale wezwa uzokhothama enkosini kaNdlanzi. Kashabalala ngithi lapha namhlanje kunezizwe makhamba ezihamba zikhothamela ngithi shabalala la angisho Chauke namhlanje bajika bakhothamela wena usuyinkosi manje sekumele uphilise ini ngoba nawe waphilisani waqala wazenzelani khothamela namhlanje uyini wena
mina konje ngaqala kuphi baba ngifuna leso story phela abaningi baclaima ukuthi bangithwasisile
how bangafuna sibatshele address
yes you guys were still advising Gogo Snobish. Let's start with you. She's calling herself Gogo Snobish. Let's hear Gogo Snobish. Snobish Gogo. No, Asu Umanzini is corporate sangoma. Mshengu, what are you? Gogo Hamba Nabomkulu. I saw you on Instagram. You now call yourself Gogo Hamba Nabomkulu.
Oh no, I said Gogo.
Talipunga is Gogo Mlungu. Low Gogo Zulu. Can I have somebody light for me for lighting? Yeah.
Gogo Snobish.
Yeah. If umakangeni uyakhuluma ngeke nisakhuluma. Mthetho uthini? Omncane iqala and futhi you are the last born wena kwigroup yakho. You speak. Advice. Yeah.
Thokozani. Usually ukhuthwasa it's not a one-man show.
Yeah.
Kuthwasa umndeni wonke. So my experience ekuthwaseni ukuthi even the family it gets affected because mongena ephehlweni you're not only healing yourself, uhila umndeni wonke. Therefore, uPahle go back to the basics. Your Pahle idlozi leli selikushisayo ushiswa impephethu ukuthi malihambe liyoshisa nomndeni. Let the dlozi give the mndeni experience so that it can be a holistic thing. Ngoba noma uqala ukuthwasa kwakho kuqala ekhaya kugcina ekhaya. Ugobela makathatha akakise esigangeni. Uzokubuyisela ekhaya as a result kumele uqala kwenza umphahlo ekhaya. Therefore prior to you ukuthi ungene ephehlweni noma usibonisiwe mina wami ubaba ngamphupha more than 77 times.
You show that again Makamba.
Owami ubaba ngamphupha more than 77 times ukuthi kumele ngithwasise. And when I was in denial, my sister started dreaming as well. My mother started having visions as well. So waba it's a family thing, waba family yonke because noma uyihamba lendlela ekhaya abantu yathwasa. The difference is that they are not in the red skirt. But bathwasa, whether it's financial problems, whether other people have to support you. My mama with disability, she always showed up ephehlweni because naye bekathwasa indlela yakhe. Because you must also remember ukuthi ukuthwasa akuqali ngawe namhlanje bekunabo gogo nabo kokomkhulu. And you find that when you are the one who is breaking the curse of running away. So you realize good when experience yakho it's more harsher and more harder because to whom much is given, to whom much is expected.
Manzini, let's hear from you. And I love what Makamba says, Guti. It's not only about an individual, but ukhuthwasa, it's a family process, right? But when it completely refuses, what would you advise? We've come across like, you know, abokabuza, they are Christian, they don't do this. So then what do you do?
I always have a saying that I fall back on whenever I get those kind of patients. But if family doesn't believe in this and they want me to Bonabati, they won't support me in this journey. I always say, Wuti, if a calling was a conference call, then your entire family base will trust an hour at the same time. But there's a reason why ubizwa wena ngokwakho qobo lwakho. Sometimes we stand out tata inkinga zabantu sizibeke emahlombeni. Kodwa ingulo yaziwa uwe wedwa. What's important is to start your journey. Once you start, you will be amazed ukuthi ithonga lizokusingatha kanjani. Ngoba nanoma bangathi ekhaya they don't support you in any form, shape or size. Okusalayo lamathonga azala bona bomama nabo baba bangafuni ukukusupporta. They are behind you 110%. Yafana nje nemoto imoto ayihambi nevili eliyi-1. The reason inamavili ayi-4 is so that it can be balanced from the forward and the back. Ukuthi once you start hitting a date break, and that date break being your family not being able to support you, you are able ukuthi uhambe uyosingathwa yilanga amanye amabhubesi nazo izingonyama ezihamba nawe ngasemuva. Kodwa uzomangala ukuthi uma ungahamba wayozinikela bonke kuyohamba kuqhaqheke.
Mshengu, in your experience, I feel like I have a radio show, guys. In your experience, because we see that there's so many people initiating, right? And it's a gift, but it's a burden, right? It's a blessing, but it's also a curse. So I want to know, Guti, why was it important for you, as Untabi saying, to dream of ukobela wako, to be shown? We had Makamba, she dreamt 77 times. I don't know how many times you dreamt, how long it took you, but why is it important to you to be shown where to go?
Thokoza baba, Thokozani. Kubalulekile baba to be shown where you are going. I remember I heard your voice for 5 years, right? I had to follow your voice. It led me to Power FM. But the person I dreamed of was your firstborn child. And I'm at dreadlocks, handsome boy, Anglanda, you know. But as you know my journey, I resisted a lot. And even when I came like I am a power was later, still I was resistant to accepting the journey because I wanted to be sure. When I walked in here and gizo consult her, minukobela wami, ugogo dineo, begangangfuni. She didn't even want to consult me. My first time in figure like Kaya, ngakhola, waxosha bogogo indumbeni because they all went in. Watucela kusala bayi-2, wathi kimi, Mshengu, ngiyakwazi, and mina ngithumsi. go calm down mntanami maso decide ukuthi ufuna ukwenza ngempilo yakho uzobuya ekhaya lele bakubonise lona. And the important thing was that all amapawu bewafika and baba would reject amapawu. I'm thinking now I'm in kwale was wafika nomakhosi wala ekhaya baba wathi anginandaba until I get the sign that I want. And for me that was very important because the main sign I got when I came back ubaba buyongilekelela with the treatment.
Yeah, but don't speak the sign, eh? Yeah.
Yes.
Because they'll come with the sign.
And I gave her the sign and I was thinking it was somebody else's thing. Ubaba ngihleka. But what comforted me more than anything was that now that I'm home, every sign that brought me like Kaya makes sense. I got back to my lineage, you know. I got back to find Guti. Not only am I connected to Ugomela Wami because of my surname, Yaga Yise Wami, but I'm connected to Amadlozi Gababam in almost every form of it. In my journey of growing up, because when I got into Makobongo Wami, Yise Wami wang patanjenge twice and not Gobongo. Abomakangeni were not lenient with me at all. And I think I got in here on a Sunday. The Monday, Baba was like, you know. So Lauma Power for me gave me the comfort to know Uguti, I'm in the right space. But it made sense because now most of everything Yabandwana Bako Baba or my group, we resemble a large part of who you are. You know, snobbish Gogo is like my snobbish Baba. A speaker, snobbish Baba. A corporate Gogo is like my Baba, who's corporate, a speaker and an MC. So it's not just a power with Lozi, but it felt like home to be here. You know, and that for me was the most comforting thing because even in the journey as I went in my trials and tribulations, going back to the question of Kala was that I had a very difficult journey of my family accepting this journey. But when they came together, even the way Obaba Mayenzi's in Dongakona was amazing for me, you know. And Umdeni is not just Umdeni Ozalwa now, Baba. I got to have a home in this home. I got to have support of just not my siblings, but patients and families come together and embrace you. And logo kubonakala kakhulu mawuso yekhaya. Yazi mawuyekhaya, then you see ukuthi umsebenzi wakho obowuvuna la ekhaya ukhula kangakanani once you get home. And ukhula where you see your siblings and how they matter to you and how interlinked you are to them and how everything that happens to you guys kuba ngathi nala ngamawele, you know. Like ubaba, I don't know baba what you call it because you've got over 30 kids. I don't know if there's a woman who gives birth to 30 kids, you know.
Yeah.
But that's what it is for me. So Amapa were very important to me, and that place needs to feel like home, but it needs to challenge you. But if it doesn't challenge you and if it doesn't strip you, because Minoamu stripped me, and I had to look and work the ground to myself to be able to be what I am today. And if that doesn't happen, I'm a power because we've seen people that say, yes, because Makamba had something else, Uzulu had other things, Udali had other things, but those things heal because they are lessons that Zakvuna, you know, you get hurt to see if you're gonna push forward, you're gonna push forward. But if you're not in a home that challenges you, then, and if everything is comfortable, then you're not in your home.
You need to understand you're not only teaching people here, but you're teaching your siblings because they're listening very attentively. You know, message is so we cannot initiate everyone, but we can begin the initiation process because our callings is to be teachers. And whether we become teachers or teachers to become speakers, Manzini incorporate, you know, teacher as a psychologist, you know, teacher when you're doing makeup, on your shows you like Coco when unentos again, you know. So no, because I mean it's amazing now the numbers have went up. It's like people are taking each other to say come because people love learning, right? So I want to know from you, Talipunga, your journey was harder. You had no family support. You only had your mother. You stayed here for 2 years, 6 months. Am I right? So I want to know for you, what was it that made you stay? Because you couldn't leave because there were financial constraints and you only chabalala mtana makamba man. So you left when Babako said enough. Let's release you because it's enough. You've given yourself. What made you stay? Because people even complain staying for 3 months, Bab. They want to be done.
Yes, 2 months.
Yeah, Menang Chase almost a year.
Yes.
And that was in 2010. So yes. Uban lo wase wakamkhwenyana wathwasa almost 3 years.
Uskumba.
Yeah, Uskumba.
It was 2 years, 8 months.
Yes. So Dali, what made you stay? Because others could have ran. I mean, you know, part of your group members ran away. Yes. Because there were financial challenges.
Well, for me, Baba, with all the challenges that I've actually went through, was true. That's kind of from the beginning, before I came in, that I'm going to start this journey and then I'm going to finish it. And also, this journey and then the limna. Firstly, before this happened, this for consultation, I had to go through all your consulting but I did not believe that I was a sangoma. I never that's not me. So I thought no balance I tried to be prophet and whatsoever that. So Busangoma was like, you are mistaken. But anyways, my drive was from the pain that I went through, ukula. Then I didn't understand until I understand, but no, this was you need to take this journey, and then if you don't, then this is what is going to happen. And also they saved me from a critical accident. That accident actually opened my eyes.
Yeah, they're asking you to speak louder. And
Okay.
Dali speaks softly, tribe members, because she had a fatal accident, right? That's why you speak so slow, because it affected her. So sorry about that, Dali.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so what I was saying is, what kept me going was that I told myself that I'm going to start this journey and finish it, okay? Because of the hardships that I went through, and also I got sick. I didn't understand, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to start this journey. I'm going to finish it, and also knowing upon Suka Corner. The hardship that I endured, but that okay, madlozi nindizile nathi mandizothatha lo msebenzi, so now ndazinikela. I surrendered in every single thing. As much as ndoba ndingafuni uba sangoma, because I was like, no, not me, and this uba sangoma. So as much as I was told by different people, because we had to go around people and consult first, obviously no one will accept being a sangoma and say, oh yeah, I am. You just want to reject and until abantu abadala baze neswazilanga. And then you wake up and then you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, I really have to, I have to come through. Because I remember when I came, the first time when I saw Baba was through my friend. A friend of mine is also gifted, but she took the prophet. So she's like to me, you know what, follow Ukhuthwasa on Instagram, Facebook. Here's a handle on Instagram. I'm like, why are you so concerned now? Because she was like to me, friend, ubungoma ayipheleli into ubungoma, because then she chose the prophet. That but friend mna andikho andivisisi kahle. Yes, I'm there, but ndiphupha kakhulu ngezangoma. My dreams are based on izangoma. So what must I do? And I even stopped going to St. John's because I was not feeling it, So, but she continued to press me and push me. And then one time, then I listened to Metro. She's like, you must listen to Metro. She's always on the last Tuesdays of the month. Listen to her.
Yo, Dad, you still even remembers last Tuesday of the month.
So she's like, no, you listen to her. Then I listened. And that time they were talking about candles and different color candles and the meanings. And I think I got the program in the way it was about to end. And I was late at work. So I was like, I need to listen to this. So I listened to it until it was finished. And then I sent, and then I commented under Baba, which is Ukhuthwasa. And then I was like, thank you very much for the lesson.
Yeah, but to you, I'm never Ukhuthwasa. To you guys, Mubaba, right? Because those are two different people. I remember that. Remember, she came, she was consulted by you.
Yes.
Are you the one who did her kobong? Yes, and you said to me, "Aye, Baba, this one." You were skeptical because you were like, "Aye, she goes to too many sangomas." And there she is, lasted 2 years and 7 months. So what do you want to see, 2 years, 6 months? What do you want to say to Dali now?
I'm really, really proud of her. I don't want to lie. And if there's one thing, and I've never told her this, was that she's the first person in this space to teach me patience as a sangoma. Because one thing about me is that I do things because I want to see them through. But Dali was like, no. Calm down. Listen, we are moving from point A to point A.5. No, Dali, let's go to be now. No, I want to stay here. She really taught me patience, and I'm really proud of her. You know, I look at her now and where she was when she came from Okobong, I'm like, wow.
I also didn't believe Dali. I didn't believe in Nkosi, you'll finish your process. Dali, I didn't believe. Snobbish Coco gave me a hard time. Didn't believe. So let's go to Zulu. Gwande. Yeah, these are powerful. I'm also inspired as Zimbabwean. So Zulu, your story, right? And umxhosa kaloku. So I want us to sithetha no Dali umxhosa. Guti all the way from the Eastern Cape to Joburg. Right? And with a mother that was adamant, Guti, this thing doesn't exist in the family. But also, Guti, you come from a family that was well off, but things went bad for you when you got a petrain. Somebody could have also given up. How long were you here?
2 years, 5 months.
2 years, 5 months. Yes. Dali, you were 2 years, 6 months or 7? 6, yes. Okay, Zul.
So, you know, talking about my journey makes me very emotional because it didn't just start to Gongena Epeshweni. It started way before, you know. In Pete.
Don't you guys want to wear jerseys? Please go ahead.
Kubla 2010 when I first started.
But come back, this is a master class.
When I started dreaming in 2010, you know, when I started dreaming of Ubaba, when I started dreaming of Umkhulu, I would say to my parents, so when I started dreaming of Izangoma, and when I started dreaming of my grandmother, I remember the one dream where Ugogo is passing a message on, but then I take it to my mom, so very dismissive, you know. So yeah, but what I like about Idlozi is that.
So Kim Zozo says she went to school with you. Hey, your friends are here, guys. Yeah, you've got friends here. Sorry, when I looked at the comments, I'm like, oh, Kim Zozo has been commenting. She went to school with you one day. Yes.
So, you know, every time, you know, and then my mother would be very dismissive of it, you know, very ignorant of it, you know. And the weird thing is that I also come from a family background where kukona izangoma, kukona amagqirha, you know, from both sides of the family. So it still makes me very emotional because even now, but it's still a hurdle, you know. It doesn't just stop because in Pumile, you know, it still continues. It's still a thing that every day I need to remind my mother, or I need to remind Ugo, or I need to remind Aunt I didn't just take this gift because you know, it's something that I was chosen for. Gagula for the longest time. I was suicidal for the longest time, you know. I had many suicide attempts, you know, because of legul, you know. So it hurts, but also it gives a man to say, you may not believe it today, but it's sasa. You're going to tell a different story. I didn't believe but today that's the biggest thing, and the challenges continue even when you go home, you know. It's but when you go home you find a different kind of ukhuthwasa. You know, I was just saying now in the comfort of a red skirt, but now in the comfort of my own home, where I still need to apply to people who were not truly present in the process because they were only here for specific occasions, you know. So the whole process I understand. So it's still a hurdle, but to say with my own children, this is what I've learned from my parents. With my own children, I know what I need to apply because with my own children, I can now identify who's gifted in what. And now my duty as a mother who is a sangoma is to build from those gifts that they have so that they can flourish to be somebody, to be people that I could never be. You know, to be somebody or to be people that even if but because of the belief systems that we were brought up under, but bona, they do not have to be oppressed because I am flourished, I'm a flower, so therefore pollen must go to the next flower, which is my children.
Wow, guys, I mean, the numbers are getting high. The viewership is honestly, and I'm going to save the stream because, you see, I look at you and I feel proud as a teacher. If there's anything I've gifted you, is for you to take pride in your gift. But we also understand, Guti, this journey is hard. I need to understand, Guti, from your own experience, and Manzini, you have graduated for 3 years. Is this going to be your 4th year?
3rd year.
3rd year, right? But you know when you leave Petro, you are angry, right? You are angry at your Kobela. You are angry at so many people because it's hard. Like, I like what you said, Guti. It needs to feel like home, but it needs to challenge you and it strips you. So I want you to, from what you know, from Sinsin Pumile and where you at, because things are not a bed of roses. No. What do you make of people who then say, Uguti pating twasile, things should fall into place? You know, if they don't fall into place, because there's a phenomenon about people stealing people's gifts. And I need to know, Guti, from your own experience, Makamba, it's almost gonna be, it's 9 months that you've done, right? Well, I don't know, but you've been done for some time. But Manzini has been done for 3 years. It's a pity, Guti, upubes no nyogel hlaza bangali. I think they're helping Ubaba, ne? Yes. So from your experience, let's speak about people expecting a bed of roses when they finish their process, when people expect to be Baba. Right, we're busy here, then they expect to be like that. So what would you say, and what is some words of encouragement, but what is the truth you need to tell people about post-Twasa? Are you all ears?
Thokoza Baba and the viewers, I think the first important thing to understand ukuthi uthwasela ini. That is why I am a person who is big on being shown ukuthi uyaphi. I'm a person who is big on the process yamagobong. Because igobong is like an antibiotic, iyasave. Laba kuthumela khona, it gives you a clear purpose and understanding ukuthi uyothwasela ini. Ningathwasa nonke esikolweni esi1, but for different things. So now, that's why it's very important. And in the school that I went to, Ukhuthwasa, which is here, very big on personal development. Apart from Idlozi, what is your mandate? All are called, but few are chosen. We are called sonke sizangoma. Kodwa si chuzelwe which faculty. So sonke singafaki red skirt mina phehlweni indaba zemithi bezingidabula. Zonke bezingidabula, but when it came to African spiritual psychology, I was given 100%. So I understood noma ngiphuma ukuthi I might not get a clientele eningi edinga imithi, but I will get a lot of clientele within the African spiritual psychology. Abanye ngithwase nabo ephehlweni, when it came to counseling patients, they were not patient in doing so. But makufike meeting, they were top students. So firstly, it's understanding ipurpose yabo. Uthi mawungena ephehlweni understand ukuthi uphiwe kuphi wena. And then lokho kuphiwe khona, ubabakho will help you to thrive in it. Because noma kuwonke amadlozi athwasayo, but it's not only about amathambo nemithi. Because now we are taking over Africa. Now there is a revival abantu abathwasayo kakhulu. It's not a fashion, but now we are reviving a lot of professions. But the foundation is to be grounded ubungoma. Ubungoma, it's about sethu buthu bathu. So now, basiphila singabantu, we had everything. Azizanga, there is into this azizanga nabelungu. Psychology azizanga nabelungu. teaching ayizanga nabelungu, we had schools from back then. So ungathwasa but uthola ukuthi awuthwaseli ukulapha abantu, uthwasela ukuba yi-teacher. Ungathwasa uthola ukuthi eyakho i-mandate mawuthwasile, it's not endumbeni, it's within the corporate sector. Ungathwasa uthola ukuthi eyakho i-mandate is within the hospital, but indumbi iyadingeka ekhaya ukubuyisa back amasiko. Therefore, going back to the question that you asked me, it's understanding ukuthi uthwasela ini, kuphi, for ini. Then you won't have issues zokuthi ugobela ungivalile. You won't have issues zokuthi batshontshe idlozi lami, because you will understand ukuthi maybe selibuyisa amasiko, but now it needs that more skill for it to thrive. So it's understanding yourself basically more than anything.
Thank you. Oh, I think you've said a mouthful, about understanding your purpose, your twasa. We don't all twasa for the same thing, but Manzini, then let's speak about how do you recover from the brutality and the trauma of Phehlo? 3 years in.
3 years in.
You also hated me. They all hate me. Tribe, my kids hate me. I know that, and I've made peace with it. When they're still in red skirts, because they don't get coco dinner, they get.
No.
Yeah.
I think the key for me was knowing and understanding why and how I was hurt. I think that is very pivotal for anybody to actually start healing. It is the same as moya good doctor or to izinyo. They don't just say, okay, fine, let me just give you an injection. So, cause izinyo lakho liyapain. Kwamele bahambe bayihlola ngaphansi ukuthi do you have abscess or do you require a root canal or mhlambe izinyo lihlapukile somewhere ngaphakathi, so we need to go and try and fix it. So it also applies to us as well, izangoma. Uma sihamba sibuyele ekhaya ukuthi understand ukuthi yini le ekuzwisa ubuhlungu, and also understanding ukuthi whatever it is that hurt you, it was hurting you because it was trying to teach you a certain lesson that is still unhealed within your own spirit. And sometimes it's not wena ngenyama yakho that is actually hurting, but uzwa ubuhlungu bomunye umuntu owayephila ekhaya before wena. So yingulo, that's why bathi it's a journey. There's never a stop sign. So that for me was the most important thing, was going back to my space, but understanding as well ukuthi whilst you are healing, I still need ibele lagababa to be able to heal umoya, but nami ukuthi ngihambe ngiyophola ngokwenyama. Because ngahlala endumbeni be like, no baba, I need time off. You need time off what? You heal whilst you are moving forward. Fana nemoto mebayoyikinika bayikinika imate ihlale for 2 months. It still needs to run so that they can still be able to see which whilst it's running, are there any other issues as well around? And that's how you also get to pick up which, okay, fine, am I healing? Am I moving forward, or I'm still going backward? So for me, that was very important in understanding yebo ngikuzile ubuhlungu kodwa lo buhlungu lobu babuzama obungifundisana. I'm not going to disclose okwamanje ukuthi babungifundisane, but for me it has actually made me the most calmest and the most giving person in the same token, because for some reason I've just become Thokoza Manzini, I need your help. Okay, what help? I need to know how to speak to Baba. Oh, what did you do? No, I can't tell you. Whatever it is, then I will advise the way that I advise. But that also teaches me as well, Oguti, when I was hurting, that was how I actually wanted to approach Ubaba and say, Thokoza Baba, I am hurting, or I am still hurting because of this and this and this and that. And that also unpacks some of the things that they are still open within the space, and not just for Ubaba, but even the abantu esitwasa nabo in the same space, because siyahwebana man every day, and sometimes you don't even realize ukuthi mhlambe ngikhubezile shabala, mhlambe ngikhubezile bakhamba, but and you're busy unpacking your emotional instability or emotional pain. All those things come back, and those are the things that will actually make you even heal as a better person. Just be humble and know ukuthi nanoma ungathi okay lo ngathi ngimzwisa ubuhlungu, just go and say ngiyaxolisa, whether kubuhlungu noma kukho ubuhlungu, kodwa mina ngalendlela engibona ngakhona makungabe ngiyakuzwisa ubuhlungu ngiyaxolisa. That is the only way that you can be able to move forward.
Some of your patients are here, Manzini. So we're gonna wrap it up very soon, and the wrap up, I think it's just Guti. what would be your word of encouragement? You know, whatever it is, whether to someone who is financially struggling, someone who has to go ukhuthwasa, what do they need to prepare? Whatever it is that Spirit is guiding you. And also, like, I'm a radio show host, or I'm a TV show host, or I'm on Instagram. I'm going to ask, how do people get hold of you? At the end. Right? Because you're giving so much of your own wisdom on my platform. So people need to access you, because I'm not the only one who can do this work. I didn't train people, so I'm the only one. And Lembande, we know, it trains people to become competent healers. Because one thing that the Gogos, you can only hear my voice, you can't see me. They didn't touch. You do not graduate here. I will see you kaya if you're not competent. Right? Because you need to be able to be a competent, because it is clear if you are shown here, your doses will somewhat have to have you practice. Even Ugogo Snobish still needed to learn imiti so that you can distinguish what requires imbiza, but you're good with imbiza, Makam. What requires imbiza and what requires psychological, or therapeutic, but in mainstream therapy. So Shabalal, you spoke about something. I'm triggered, Shabalal. That's how we speak now. We speak, Baba, you trigger me.
Yes.
Right? And I think,
that's our healing journey.
yes. And you did that before you left. You had a conversation with me, because you, in your group, we all know, Guti, you were harshly trained. And you were angry. You were bitter. How are you getting better? It's a nice one, eh?
Yeah, it is.
You were angry, you were bitter. How are you getting better? Because I can't say how have you become better.
Yes. I think the most important thing for me was the allowing. So going back to, I know like Kaya divine feminine, right? And I'm pretty sure there's a teaching that Baba has done about the balancing of chakras at some point in your journey.
Yes.
So I realized that my throat chakra had been blocked for the longest time. And as Umakamba had touched that, another thing I've said to Aba former Bang Lamayo is that Jongo Makamba Shilo, if ungene pehlweni and you do not strip yourself, uzibuge wena qala. Right? Because some of the things that you encounter epehlweni are not just about idlozi, but they're to heal the ego, They have to strip you, bakubonise ubuhlaza bakho, right? Because it's very easy to say me, I'm perfect. But we never hold ourselves accountable for our actions or how we contribute to certain situations, because ayikho situation eyenzeka wena ungabi part of yona. The biggest lesson that I learned, like Kaya, was what role did you play in being part of that chaotic situation you find yourself in. So I had to first, the hardest conversation I had to have or hear from Ubaba was how I trigger her and how she triggers me, and what I did to trigger Ubaba wami Wihlozi, right? Then I had to learn to separate Untabiseng to Unkosela Pizizwe, Udineo, Koko Dineo from Ubabu Kecha, right? So then there were triggers like Koko Dineo that were identified Untabiseng, because Untabiseng and Koko Dineo became each other's mirrors. Then there were triggers of idlozi, because another thing that I hope one day, Baba, you get to teach people is that idlozi itonga elibovu needs to be healed, because of there's a lot of things that have gone wrong. Emhlabeni wethu njengabantu bantsundu qala nje. Africa as a whole went through a lot of trauma, so we can't just dismiss lamatonga ashonika buhlungu agwaziwe alahlelwe emanzini and all those things. So there's a trigger of that, right? And those elikhulisayo triggers the things that need to grow in you. So my triggers were mostly to grow me, and they were very painful. Very painful. Ngxoshiwe la ekhaya ngishayiwa yikho into engayizwanga ekhaya. But then I realized that if I had not opened my throat chakra, I will not be learning. So therefore, with the teachings I've got, I named this year, being my birth month, so it was my birthday yesterday, I'm naming this my year of becoming. In my year of becoming, I've learned that I need to heal myself, as Untabiseng, with psychology, right? With imiti, with speaking and expressing my feelings, but also not always being offended and triggered when somebody's expressing their feelings, because I cannot take away the experience and the feeling yomunye umuntu because I want to justify my actions. So in that, Baba, I had to learn into my patagabi. Let me not keep it, because another thing that is dangerous, and Makamba, you'll support me, the more you live in your mind and create a scenario, the more chaotic and dangerous it becomes, because ungayenza into engekho ibe khona. Yabona? So I had to learn ukuthi okay, ubaba namhlanje ungithukile, but Gogo Dineo didn't greet me. Baba khona into engiyenzile wrong now. Yabona? And Baba learned ukuthi okay, have I done something wrong, Danami? So that's a relationship to learn. And that with that it had to heal, because my biggest hurt was my father. Then I came into another father. In a woman,
who's a shabalala.
Yes. So it was just a trigger of an absent father. Then I got a very strict father, and I didn't understand, and I had a very strict gogo. You know, everything was just in my face, and I was like, how? What's happening in my life? So now it's going back to understand. When Baba said we first have to heal, so there's daily issues to heal. There's a lot of issues that you heal. Ipehlo is not just patidlozi and basekaya. It's about healing the things as wrong or wazenza. If you used to steal and lie, if when you wanted ukuba iqanda, you never held yourself accountable. Those are the things you have to go back and do, and that needs shadow work. It needs womb work. It needs a lot of work. And if you're not going to take the time after pesho to first evaluate yourself before utu ubaba wami wangi yenza, then you ask yourself ukuthi okay, when ubaba kade angithele ngamanzi mina bengilela abanye abantwana basebenza. So you have to look at those scenarios. You can't just say oh baba now chika every day. Mara every time it's your chores when you're always upset. You understand? Makutiwa kidani ulani wenza ini, learn a new skill. And also another thing about the pathway that people need to understand, it's self. It's about you. So if you don't wake up and go ask questions, if you don't wake up and do the things that you need to do, you will do what you need to do. Uzopuma uyekhaya, and that's how the self-work will never start, because it will never start. And if there's no apologies of sitting down and going back, like Umanzini said, to ask yourself, the time I fought Noma Gwande, what words did I use that hurt her? Do I hold myself accountable? Do I go back and say sorry? So for me, Baba, my healing journey began the day that we spoke, and I had to realize, what are the things that Untabiseng is refusing to let go of? Because but now those habits that were there that needed to go up with the if I go back home and as then I won't be able to heal my family, because these things will continue happening. These habits will continue happening. Uzofuna ukuba queen ne princess endlini because vele you think ngithwasile mele angikhotamele. Kanti there's things that you need to fix. So once you fix yourself, it's easy to heal endumbeni yakho. It's easy to be around people, and it's easy to love. And the biggest
Mecha is on the live.
And the biggest thing, Baba, I think for me that I learned from my siblings, from you, from like Kaya Utano. That's the one thing that heals me. And the ability for me to come back here was that I said to Abokoko when once they asked me, after everything we've been through, what brings me here? I said, because ngiyantanda, you know, and because nami ngathandwa. So it's easy to noma kunzima ngigijimele khona la ebunzimeni bala ekhaya nempilo, so that if you move everything with love, Baba, then it conquers a lot. And it's not a lie, uthando conquers a lot. Then it encourages to forgive, it encourages to be honest with yourself. So that's how I have started healing my journey and our journey with love.
I'm proud of you. You've come a long way. You've come a long way. Thank you. And I think that was your parting words as well. So I'll come to the two of you for your parting words. Dali, what are the words you would love? People are loving this. Some people are not sangomas. They say we're not even dosified, but they're also healing and learning. And the numbers keep on going up. Just to say, tribe members, please show some love to my, yeah, they're my babies. You'll always be my babies. Right? Yes. Unati uazane uqulile unkosi azane. I think Unati has a crush on you. He's been just asking me for Azania throughout. Yes.
All I can say now is that be patient with yourself. Surrender. Surrender. That's the most important thing. Surrender, be patient. and don't have expectations. Do what you need to do, and be strong, and also have faith.
Darling man. Hey. One day your parting words.
My parting words, firstly, before you surrender, you need to accept who you are. You need to accept where you come from. And you need to be accepting of where you are going. So with acceptance comes surrendering. With surrendering comes, uphila. So my parting words to abantu would be, first, zamkela ukuba ungubani. So that uzozazi apho usuka khona, apho uya khona, and where you are actually made to be, because it's not easy to surrender to something that you're not. It's not easy to surrender to something ongayifuni. Awukwazi angeke uguqele umuntu kodwa awufuni. It's not like usela. This all goes back to ego. So you need to be willing to let go of ego. You need to be willing to be stripped. You need to, if you are big rebirthed, if that's where you need to take yourself. Because as umntwana, you are what you accept yourself for who you are, what you are, if accept unjalo and move on with life. But if you are not, and you keep on dwelling on that, then it means you will always find fault, and you will never accept any kind of help. You always find loopholes. So acceptance is very important. Accept yourself first before you can expect abanye abantu to accept who you are and what you are.
Powerful. So how can people, where are you based? In Dumbayako?
I'm based in the Eastern Cape, in Tata. Yes, but yeah.
But because you're training to be Gobela, you can also be consulted here, right?
Yes.
So Magwande can be consulted here, but she's also in the Eastern Cape. There's a lot of Sikamaku, so I'm sure they are Italy people. How here, right? People can find you here at the institute. But I'm also gonna tag all of you on this video because I'm gonna save it. This is powerful for me. So people can then follow you and DM you, not about their dreams, but if they need your services, because maybe somebody resonates. I mean, somebody says, keep on saying, I think I know Dali, I think I've seen it before. We never know, because these things are spirit as well, So Msheng, where are you based?
I am based in Soweto, Jamlani.
Yes.
Right here in the city of Johannesburg.
So people can find you at Soweto. Manzini, parting words, and where are you based?
Parting words for me is peace. Yeah, peace more than anything else. And I think a lot of us take the word peace for granted. Yeah. Because peace brings about being humble. Yeah. Peace also brings about an element Zulu spoke about, which is acceptance. Yeah. And peace also brings about an aspect of ungabheki ukuthi omunye umuntu uwenzani, but bheka ukuthi omunye umuntu wenza kanjani, so that you can better emancipate and educate and empower yourself. Yeah. That is the only reason why you look at another person. You don't look at omunye umuntu. I don't look at ubaba wami and be like ngifuna ukuba njengobaba. But I look at ubaba because she inspires me to become a better person. Yeah. But a better person and a better version of who I am. Not a version of me trying to be ugogo dinero. And I think that is the most important thing that people need to understand, is that have peace with who and what you are. And nothing can actually surpass that.
Yeah. Your auntie's here, Major, is even showing. She's watching.
Thank you so much.
No, send your aunt some love. How?
Auntie, I'll see you tomorrow. She's coming tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for supporting us. Even
Yeah, we've got few minutes because we have to go pray. So where are you based?
I am available on social media, Corporate Mngoma everywhere, Twitter, Instagram. I'm not on Facebook. I've been banned of Facebook. It was Lamali Fundi Facebook. So I'm only on Instagram and Twitter's Corporate Mngoma. I am based in Soweto in Rockville as well. I don't give away my numbers because I don't have a number.
Yeah, no, don't give your numbers. No,
so
no.
They can DM us.
And they can also WhatsApp the institute. We'll refer them to you. Yeah, because somebody said they're coming to Jablani. They want to come see you. Yes. Parting words.
I want to be very short.
No, it's okay.
But now I just want to walk on what they've said because they've said it mouthfully. So like what we're saying.
Yeah.
So Ukwabini spoke about peace. You spoke about love. You spoke about surrendering. You spoke about acceptance, which the genesis of it is understanding. Understanding yourself, study yourself, research yourself. And then you'll get to a point of comparing because you understand yourself. You see, babu their harshness, never san cheeky. Those like a ratu cheeky. Well, it's not cheeky, because I understood. I understood myself. So most understand was the studisha. You'll understand it, you'll understand the mandate. Therefore, you will not go around comparing yourself, chasing other people's blessings, impostering other people. So the first thing is understanding yourself. I need to buy the charity begins at home. Home it's you. But this body is the temple of God. When you work on yourself, then you can multiply. Bible, be fruitful, then multiply. So you multiply the fruits that you are bearing in your own life, which is the basics of understanding yourself. Then you will understand idlozilako. Then you will understand your purpose. Then you can sign up for Pehla.
And where can people get you?
They can DM the institute or WhatsApp the institute. Then the institute will refer them.
Yeah, but where are you based?
Tembisa.
And where's Kamba is the psychologist. Where's your practice?
4 ways.
4 ways. Her practice is in 4 ways. You guys have been incredible. I think they deserve a round of applause. If I was Somizi Muhlongo, I would say you deserve a you are indeed graduates. You are the alumni. Well done, guys. That was amazing. As your Baba, I have learned so much from you. Your words have encouraged me. I look at what you're doing. Koko, the other day, okay, asked me, Baba, what keeps you going? And why do you continue to have faith and trust in us and you want to nurture our gifts? Okay, this is why. Look at all these 5 beautiful healers. This is why I keep on going. Even when and some of you would swear and they'll say all sorts of things, but I keep on going because no matter what, because umuntu uyashintsha ufana notshwala esisweni, I'll remember these words. Ngoba bathi ilizwi alibuyele emuva. And you see, when you look at all of you, you are kneeling. So it is not you, Tuli, who's talking to me. It's Makangeni who's thanking me. It is not in type saying, but it's in Nkosi blessing me. It is not Ulentuzana, Nomzi, I forgot your name. Nomzi, I know your Dozi name, Dalipunga. But it is Dalipunga reflecting back at me, you know. It is not Usiviwe, but it's Umagwanda ngandisela ngamazwi. You know, it's not in type saying, but Uti makamba bambuza. Uti baba uyokamba ubuzwa ezizweni phezu komsebenzi wakho ngoba uyimpande yezizwe. Love and light, tribe members. Till next time.